First of all, of course, we're playing Arizona State Saturday. I have a lot of respect for Todd Graham and how he runs his program and what he does. He'll have them ready to play, and they'll be blitzing walking off the bus. That's what he loves to do. So it's always fun going up against him and what they do there. They've got a heck of a football team. They're 5-1, and they're really good. And they've been good for a while. And so it's going to be a tough test for us here. But I'm glad we're playing at Folsom. Our kids love playing at Folsom. So I'll take any questions at this time.
Coach, you mentioned the blitzing when they get off the bus. The offensive line seemed to struggle a little bit with the pressure that USC was bringing this past week. How do you address that this week heading into Arizona State?
Right. USC's got some really good players too. And we never got in a rhythm offensively to be able to help out our offensive line. We didn't get the ball running. We didn't get the ball out on the edge like we should have on some of our quick passes. So we feel like that we help our offensive line out when we get that first down, and that defensive line gets worn down a little bit. Now they can't dial up all that stuff because you can't, we're not slowing down. We get moving, and that helps our offensive line out a lot. Our offensive line's played really well this year, and USC's got some very good players just like Arizona State does, and we'll handle it and do well.
Hey, Coach, how do you prepare for a team that's kind of banged up at quarterback and you really don't know who's going to be behind center?
To me, that's a very, very scary thing on our part, to prepare a team that we don't really know who's going to play quarterback, so to speak. So if they're doing that, they have two excellent, not good, excellent running backs. And they have a very big, powerful offensive line. So I'm preparing for them if the one quarterback doesn't play, that they're going to run the ball a ton, and they have good enough players to do that and can try to control the game, so to speak, in the run game. If one of the quarterbacks plays that is able to run their offense exactly like they want it, then they got their whole arsenal. So we're preparing for the whole arsenal, and then we got to prepare for isolated areas where they're going to maybe not say they would make it easier if a quarterback's his first start that hadn't played a whole lot. So we're working on all of it, and it kind of makes it a little bit harder for us, I think. So the way I see it.
Getting back to the USC game, it seemed like in the first half, Afolabi said earlier that you came out flat, and it seemed in the second half that you really picked it up and adjustments were made. Will you just talk a little bit about maybe what might have played into that?
Yeah, I don't think we really came out flat. I think USC had something to do with that. They're a good football team, playing on the road, and we just didn't kind of get in a rhythm. They made a couple plays here and there, but we hung in there. I thought we kept playing hard, and we were able to get back in the football game and just didn't finish it like we wanted to. USC is the most talented team we've played except for Michigan, no doubt in my mind. They're probably one of the most talented teams we'll play the rest of the year. And so that was but we had our opportunities, and we still feel like we should have won the game. We still feel like if we played them again, we could win the game. And I don't think our kids came out like flat. I think they had something to do with it, and we didn't make a few plays that we needed to make in the first half there. When you watch it on film, if we do a couple things, just a couple little things that you see that we didn't take advantage of that were there, then, it's 14-10 at halftime or 14-14. It's a whole different game.
Manny Wilkins, I think, sprained the ish quarterback on October 1st. You've had a quarterback dealing with a sprained ankle as well. Are you surprised, or given that how quickly they think he can get back? And do you just have to kind of assume that even if he is back, that he would be at his normal kind of running?
Yeah, you got to assume that they won't put him out there unless he's able to protect himself and go. I have a master's, but I don't have a doctorate. So there's a difference in a low ankle sprain and a high ankle sprain. My youngest son has a low ankle sprain. He got in the game and played the whole game. He's going to play this week. But a high ankle sprain is a whole different world. And so I don't know where it is with Manny. Let them decide. And if he walks out there to play, then we've got to be able to beat them with him. And so that's what we plan to be able to try to do.
Understandably so. From the film, it looked like Montez is playing a little bit more reactionary than reading the defense right now. Would you say that it's just a natural part of his progression? Is that where he's at?
Well, he's kind of a reactionary guy anyway. He has the ability to make those types of plays. Some people don't. So therefore, his whole life, he's been able to do some of those types of things. But I do think he understands our offense and does understand reading defenses. But when you're a young player, sometimes it takes you a little while to be able to, after you've played a couple different defenses, you go, oh, okay, that's what they're trying to do. You're able to simulate it a little bit quicker. But he's played really well and been impressed with what he's done so far, for sure.
Coach, when a team is not as physical as the head coach wants, is that because of a lack of focus, or, and I know USC had a lot to do with that, but what usually goes into that, a lack of physicality?
Well, I thought that we tried to definitely play physical. They got a couple good running backs. I thought we tackled them pretty well for the most part. They had a couple big passes that were right there, and they came down with it and we didn't. Those two balls fall to the ground. Might everybody be talking about how we won the game? Literally 2 plays where our people are right there. So it wasn't busted coverages. It wasn't lack of focus. They just made some plays. And when you play in the Pac-12, some days you're going to make those plays, and I hope we make them every Saturday, but they're on scholarship too, and they're really good players. And that's kind of what the game boiled down to at the end there.
I've seen some flashes of the old Addison Gillum out there.
Yeah.
Knowing all that he's gone through.
It's fun to see, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what has that meant for you as a coach to see him kind of rebound this way?
Oh, it's exciting to me. It's really exciting, and he made some big plays Saturday, and he'll make some big plays this Saturday. As the season's gone on, he's played more and more, and that will continue to happen. And it's great to see him out there flying around. It really is. I still wish he'd cut his hair, but that's his trademark.
Hey, Coach. Todd Graham said about you the other day. He said you're a coachable kid. You've always been a coachable kid. I think you're older. So why are you the kid in the relationship?
I don't know what he meant by coachable kid. He probably meant that I'm a coach's kid. It's probably what he was trying to say, I would think. He has, his son's a coach, and so it's kind of grown up in our family. I'm a coach's kid. There's no doubt about it. But I don't know what he meant by that. That's what I would think. I see what he would mean. Yeah.
Jimmy Gilbert seems to be getting better from week to week. Is that something that you're seeing? He's making more plays in the running game as well.
Yeah, Jimmy's playing really well. Jimmy's staying healthy, and he's out there all the time now since Derek McCartney's not able to. They were kind of splitting time at different times when we had our nickel package and that type of stuff on the field. So he's out there playing more plays, and he's playing really well. I've been pleased with how Jimmy's played. I've been teasing him. He's had some really good sacks, and the one sack he had that nobody blocked him, he missed the guy. So I said, we're just going to practice you when they let you go free to make sure you make the sack. But he's done really well, and I'm pleased with Jimmy and what he's doing.
You mentioned the talent of the running backs that Arizona State has.
Yes.
One of them, obviously, Kayin Balage, who you guys know well. What is he when he runs the single back formation that he had so much success with so far this season? What is the key defensively to trying to contain that and to limiting his effectiveness with that?
Tackle number 7. They get him in some situations where he just runs over guys. They get him in some one-on-one spots, and the people aren't tackling him well. You got to tackle him well, and that's easier said than done sometimes. You got to understand they're in the formation. You got to understand what they're trying to do out of it. I feel like our guys do. I think they'll have some new wrinkles in it this week if they feel like they're not going to have their main quarterback. So I think they'll have a few wrinkles in it. So we've got to be prepared for that and handle that. But they do a really good job with it. But the main thing is the dude, number 7, running it. He's pretty wicked.
Coach, when you pursue someone on the recruiting trail, especially in your home state like Balage, you don't get him. When you later match up with him or you watch him on film, do you ever catch yourself picturing what could have been with this guy in black and gold, or do you kind of have to let that go as kind of the nature of recruiting?
I don't picture of him what I would have been with him in black and gold. We recruited him hard, got to know his family really well. His uncle even played here, was a good player. But I'm happy for him doing well at Arizona State, and that's where he decided to go, and we'll line up and play against him. And so that's kind of how I look at it. I don't cry over spilt milk. We just move on. I love the kids that we have.
Any final questions for Coach?
Well, I should about another guy with long
Yes.
hair,
Yeah.
NJ Fallow.
Yeah.
I played a little bit more the other day. How's he doing as far as getting back into football shape and being able to help you guys out of that
He's
outside
done well.
linebacker?
He's done well. You know, he won the Hammer Award. He had a big hit on the kickoff against Oregon State, made a big play there. So he's fitting. He's playing on quite a few different special teams, and then he's rotating in some at outside linebacker and has done some good things. So I've been pleased with that NJ's doing for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.